I'm on my third day of van life so far. I'm down here in Miami. On Tuesday, my friend is flying in from Chicago, and we're gonna have a little road trip around. I was looking, a little side note, I actually was looking up cruises last night, and I realized that van life in Florida puts me in a perfect position to hit up last minute cruises, which can sometimes then cost as little as $24 a day. It's almost exactly the same cost of living as my day-to-day. Well, good morning. You may notice I'm not in my hammock this morning. It was really warm when I went to bed last night, and I could not sleep because I was so hot. I'm in this spot. I'm in this spot that's like basically in the bay. In fact, it's so close to the bay that it smells. It smells pretty gross. I knew it was a good spot. I knew it's like a lot of housing density here, apartment buildings. But the only spot that was open last night on Friday night was in a lot of light. Like it was well lit. Well, it also made me want to cover myself pretty well with my sleeping bag. And that's part of why it was too hot to get to bed. It was so hot. It was really bright out all night long. So I got out of the hammock. I just hopped out. So I used this Pilates mat as a mat against the floor. And I went to bed. And you know what? I woke up uncomfortable. I did feel a little homeless last night. But it worked. And I actually quite enjoyed being on the floor. It is really easy to be hidden on the floor of a van that's got a bunch of stuff in it. When my head was down here in between all these milk crates, nobody was gonna see my face, that's for sure. And I only had to cover myself a little bit to look like just a pile of junk on the floor, which doesn't feel glamorous or luxurious, but it does feel very secure. By the way, I wouldn't just hang out in the morning and talk in the car like this anywhere. That's just, again, how this parking spot feels. Yesterday I was very stealthy leaving the spot. It's not gonna be this warm everywhere. I'm in Miami. And even in Florida, it's usually colder than it is in Miami. I think I gotta come up with some kind of plan of action for nights like last night where it's warm at the beginning. It was like 70 degrees last night. That is much warmer than my bedroom usually was up in Chicago before I left. And I don't know what it's gonna be. Is it gonna be sleeping on the floor? If so, I wanna have a little bit more padding because I've got mats on it that get bunched up. And that was not comfortable yesterday. It was not comfortable. Here's my fanny pack that I keep everything in and never leaves my body unless I'm sleeping. Here's my car keys that are always in the fanny pack. Shoot, I could get changed in here. And I think my windows are tinted that even these apartment buildings aren't gonna notice. Right there. They're pretty close in. The plan today is to head to the state park that is just north of me here. I'll put up a map that I always screenshot where I am every night. It's got a $4 entry fee for a single occupant vehicle, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and drop $60 and buy the Florida State Annual Park Pass. Florida State Park Annual Pass, which will get me day entry to every Florida State Park, except certain fancy ones like Weeki Wachee Springs, which has like a mermaid show and stuff. I love Weeki Wachee. If you enjoyed my weird minivan morning thus far, go ahead and hit like on this video. And if you'd like to see more, go ahead and subscribe. I'm really getting into the part of van life where I have no idea where I'm gonna end up. And it's all based on like, okay, what needs do I have now? I haven't left yet. I want to show you what I just figured out. Obviously I got my bra on. I don't have much privacy in here. Like I said, behind me, there's apartments. This side is like the swamp, which is nice. Cars drive by, but it's still nice. But what I do have is a little tent. It doesn't cover everything, but it covers enough that like people aren't gonna see me as a naked lady looking in the window. Cool. Now I've got my bra on. And you know what? There's actually like a little wildlife conservation area around here, and even though I have to pee, I think I'm gonna go on a little walk through the swamp. There's this video, an interview of a young woman named Erin who lives in a Prius. And when Kelly Doyle did the interview, hi Kelly Doyle. Kelly Doyle is one of my favorite van lifers. When Kelly Doyle asked Erin what she does for bathrooms, where do you go to the bathroom was the question. And Erin paused and said, well, anywhere is possible. And what a beautiful way to put the fact that, like, well, if you're responsible, you can pee and poo, you know, out in the wild. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm going to go end up peeing somewhere. Here, my pee toilet with lids. Also, here, potential pee toilet with lid. I've got a whole milk crate over here. Let me just show you. Here's where I slept last night. This milk crate has these things in it. But it's also got toilet paper, and there's a bag down here full of pine litter. If you are subscribed to my channel because of cat litter, that's most of you. That's like 20,000 of you. This is the same pine litter that I bought for my cats. That's all to say, I've got an emergency toilet back here that I can use if need be. Maybe I should do that now. Maybe I should just pee in the yogurt container now. Y'all, I did it. I peed in this minivan with no window coverings, covered by this stupid hammock tent, and I hated it. But I did it, and it worked fine. I'll tell you what, too, I've got a huge bladder. I filled up one of these whole yogurt containers, and I don't think it could have taken much more urine, which I'll need to be careful of in the future. Got out my toilet paper, squatted in the back. It was not fun. I did not enjoy it, but also, I don't have to pee anymore. What? Oh, my life is totally nuts right now. Every single moment of it is totally nuts. Well, I'm gonna go find some place to dump this and get dressed and go on a nature walk. I'm literally in the middle of putting my pants on, and I noticed there is a blue heron just hanging out 10 feet away from me.